Hey guys, my name is Cameron. I don't just read comics, I love them, and welcome back to another episode of Cameron Reads Comics. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about Batman Killing Time, issues number 1 through 6. This is a story by Tom King and David Marquez. It collects issues number 1 through 6 of Batman Killing Time. It is very new, reader-friendly. Tom King did a big old run on Batman. I think it was 85 issues, and then he left the books. James Tynion took over. This doesn't really tie into any of that, so you don't have to have read the Tom King Batman run to have picked up this story. For the most part, it takes place out of continuity, and it's like a really grounded story. It goes into the deep cuts of Batman's rogues gallery, and once you find out who the narrator is, well, I would just recommend Batman the Animated Series for context, but I'm always going to recommend Batman the Animated Series because it is the single greatest representation of Batman of all time. Hard stop. Don't try and change my mind. I won't change it. For the story, written by Tom King, comes off the heels of his Batman run, and I just want to point out that I think this follows a trend of Batman writers continuing to write Batman after their run is over. It's the third time this has happened, to my knowledge. So, did their runs ever really end? I don't think they're going to come out with a Tom King Batman book because he's still writing Batman. I just mean like a Tom King omnibus. He's still going, so why would they stop? Anyways, sidebar ended. Now, this story takes place over many different time periods. Upon the first issue, I thought it took place like an episode of 24, but not quite. It spans generations and generations, and the narrator is bouncing from ancient Greece to, Gotham City in the past and all over the place. Like, we're in BC, we're in AD, we're in 1941, and how different moments in time will affect the present right now, which was really interesting. It centers around a heist that takes place from Bruce Wayne's safety deposit box in the Gotham Bank. Or a Gotham Bank. I don't remember what the bank was called. Riddler, Catwoman, and Penguin all coordinate the theft of the item. And I'm not going to reveal what the item is because it's kind of like a Maltese Falcon kind of deal. Meaning it doesn't matter what the item is. It's really kind of just like, it doesn't matter what the item is. It's all about the chase of this singular item. So, and I read the story. I know what the item is. I feel like as that came out, it didn't sound that way. Anyways, the item was given to Bruce though by Ra's al Ghul. I didn't know this, and maybe that's just on me, but I guess Bruce was trained. He trained with the League of Assassins and was a protege of Ra's al Ghul. I always thought Ra's looked at Bruce from afar and then said, "You will be my next protege." But that's not what happened. Young Bruce Wayne was training with Ra's al Ghul, and here we are now. Ra's names Bruce his heir. Now, after the heist, what'd I say? It's bouncing between times. Riddler and Catwoman double-cross Penguin in order to get the money, but it ends up becoming a turf war. It's crazy. They all fight. All their rogues come out. Every rogue in Gotham comes out and has a big, gnarly street brawl. It's crazy. Penguin, to get back at these two, brings in a new character called The Help. That is his superhero name. So he's not a hero. He's anti-hero, whatever. He's not a bad guy, but he's an assassin for hire. He tries to get back at Riddler and Catwoman, and Batman is chasing all of them the entire time to get back what was in his safety deposit box. All of this is happening in coordination with the plan of the mysterious narrator. Now, you open up the book and you think that it's going to be Batman narrating, because it's a Batman book, and I feel like 99% of the time, that's what's happening. But it isn't Batman, and I'm not going to say who it is either because I thought the reveal of it was the absolute best, and I just can't even believe he's in there. Anyways, here are the characters in this story for context. There's obviously Batman, Catwoman, but not Bruce Wayne married to Catwoman and Batman, Penguin, the Riddler, who I think is just a character that Tom King like really, really, really loves. So he's in there too. I think Riddler's written really well in this story. The Help, who I will spoil, is like a super old man and like a really gnarly ninja assassin for hire, who happens to be one of Ra's al Ghul's children, you find out later, which is actually really cool. He was supposed to be Raz's protege, but when Bruce came into the picture, he thought that the Help wasn't a worthy successor, and so he kicks him to the curb. I kind of like this theme I'm seeing in DC of Ra's al Ghul having all these children that we've never met, or family members that have spanned generations of time. I love that because I know that we have him and Talia, but when you've been around for that long, you've most likely had many partners. And so I just really, really, really like that. Next is Killer Croc. Oh, and another new favorite character of mine that we've never seen again is Nuri Espinosa, who is an FBI agent chasing all of them simultaneously. There's a really good Riddler moment with her in a Waffle House, and it's pretty sick. And that's all I'm going to give you guys from that. For the art, which is actually what kind of kept me in the book, the first 2 issues didn't grip me like I thought they would, but David Marquez doing Batman art should be enough to keep anyone in the loop. I thought he absolutely crushed. And every single splash page in this series is absolutely ridiculous. So that's verbatim. If you like just Google ridiculous Batman art and David Marquez doesn't come up, your Google is broken. That's all I have to say. Or your algorithm is messed up. He is just one of the most polished artists currently working. And because the first 2 issues didn't grab me, I would argue that this is a series that you kind of need to, because I didn't know what was going on, because it's bouncing around. I'm like, was I supposed to remember what happened in 402 BC? Whatever, that's up to you. I didn't have to pay attention that much, or it was hard for me to like really dig into, but David Marquez's art kept me going, and it actually really paid off in the end. So it's one of those things where you don't always quite know what's going on all the time, but if you stick with it, it actually is really freaking cool. The story's beautiful. Every panel is perfect. Every character is so distinct, which I think we miss out on some of the really popular artists. I think that David Marquez really makes every character look unique and have personality. He crushed it. I hope we can see more Batman of his, because this reminded me that he was on Batman Superman by Josh Williamson, which was a delightful series, and I was so glad he was on that book when he was. And now for the rating. Because of the reasons I said, because it was kind of hard to stay with, but the payoff, I thought the story is actually worth a read. So I give it a 7.8 out of 10. Artwork is amazing. The payoff actually really is amazing. The pacing could use some work, in my opinion, but it'll make sense later. If you have read this story, let me know, all right? Because I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Make sure to clobber those like and subscribe buttons. Leave a comment. Tell me what you thought about Batman: The Killing Time. You now have my opinion. I'm Cameron. I don't just read comics. I love them. I'll see you guys next time.